Yo, what up, man? Y'all get in here. Y'all get up in here, man. Hey, when I came across this, man, I was like, wow. Y'all go ahead and get in here, man. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense now. Yeah, y'all go ahead and get in here. Scotty, what do you want? No, don't. Go back where you was. Go back, go. Go lay down. It all makes sense now, man. It all makes sense now. Ahmad, what up, dog? Lion, what up, man? It all makes sense now. Y'all get up in here, man. Don't be a lurker. Make a comment. Yeah, we go elucidate some truth today in this motherfucker. Man. I'm telling you, like they say, you learn something new every day. I just not learned about the whole diploma mill thing on Saturday, and I was stunned. And I was stunned when I found out about this. Rebuild how? Cameron Gilliam says, "Salute Tito. I'm glad my team lost, and now we can rebuild. Rebuild from how? Aaron Rodgers is a cancer. Now they be talking about, oh, this receiver is a diva. No, that nigga is a cancer. He's a cancer. He's the one that started, and not just a cancer to whatever team that signs him. He's a cancer to the league because he's the one that started that tradition of being an old quarterback that's not willing to mentor younger quarterbacks. He's the one that made that shit look acceptable. When before, the media would have lambasted you. Mr. O, what up? Brother Zeke, what up, man? Distant Rose, what up, man? Yeah, and yeah. Yeah, and of course, condolences from Mr. O with the info, man. Stephen, what up? They did Houston did kind of sleepwalk in the first half, but the second half, yeah, man. Chill, what up, man? Let some more people get up in here. All I want to know, man, is as more and more of these tethers start getting exposed, our black people go still be running around sounding like a bunch of buffoons talking about somebody who looked like me. I always thought that shit was so silly and so childish. That's one of the reasons that people don't take us seriously. Somebody who looked like you, huh? You realize a damn Sri Lankan woman can look like you. You go vote for her too, and depend on her to put your policies in. Somebody who looked like me. That's why they had the one. That's why they invented the run drop rule, because white people knew that it was a such thing as passing black people and octoroons and all of that shit. And if they thought it was a black person passing amongst them, they would investigate that motherfucker's lineage down to the last man, right? Meanwhile, we all somebody that look like me. Oh, they invited to the cookout, even when it is an obviously white person. Kwame Kaji, what up? Cheese Doodle, what up, man? Oh, somebody who look like me. What has that got us? Nothing. And shout out to whoever watching on Rumble. And contrary to that bullshit that the Nigerian pony said last night, that's what we're gonna start calling the Nigerian pony. Contrary to that bullshit, because it's gums and shit, nigga got horse gums. Contrary to what the Nigerian pony said last night, I do not have 2 strikes on my channel. Because if I had 2 strikes on my channel, I wouldn't be able to go live. Just to let y'all know on a channel note, just to let y'all know. But I will find another way to get that material back up on Al Gore's internet on YouTube. Yeah, we've been getting fucked for multiple decades now. Casey Rice turned us into corn stars, and we've been getting fucked. Yeah, for multiple decades now. Some of the people on y'all Black History calendar, Tethers, Shirley Chisholm, Tether. Matter of fact, it was probably that bitch that banged on the table for that fucking immigration quota from black countries. Probably her that did that. Science got what up, man? But then it's not just her; it's dumbass black people too. They only let white people. They only let people from white countries immigrate here. And they let white people immigrate here, but guess what? They only come a couple at a time. I don't know if y'all realize that. They only come a couple at a time. The largest white immigration population we have here right now are Polish people. For example, it's more Polish people it's more ethnic Polish people living in Chicago than it is in the capital of Poland itself in Warsaw, right? But they don't flood our country with so many fucking immigrants that it destroys our fucking social safety net, right? They were. I hate to break it to you, KC. If you want to go there, KC Rice. I'm getting to the point where I think that most of the revolutionaries from back in the day were psyops, just like now. Take your pick. Cheese dude, thanks for the cash app. Don't let that brother be alone. Take your pick. Marcus Garvey, right? Marcus Garvey was an agent that was sent to initiate Pan Africanism, right? If you ask really, 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 really old black people. I want you to ask really, really old black people. I ain't talking about, I'm talking about like in a late 80s and up through their 90s. And there's some black people around that's over 100. Ask them. Ask them. Did they tell y'all in school that we came from Africa? And you know what they gonna tell you? No, girl, no, boy, you ain't I don't know why they be talking about all that Africa nonsense. You not from Africa. That's what they gonna tell you. That's what they gonna tell you. Even my mother is only what 72. She said the same thing. She was like, "No, they ain't have that shit in our school books." She said, "I would have remembered that." No, they don't. They didn't have none of that shit about the triangle slave diagram and the people laying foot. She's like, that's. She said, I didn't start seeing that shit into the 80s. She said, I don't even know how would people believe that you can just lay some people on the floor of a ship like that and they'll survive. So I say you've been arguing with these motherfuckers all morning. Yeah, that's how they have you. That's how they have you. Yep. Science guy says Marcus Garvey definitely was. Pan Africanism is a grift and confusion. Yep. 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 Pan Africanism is just as bad as the commie shit in the black community. But you know what though? You know what though? It's that whole thing with communism has gotten so bad to where they've actually tricked these niggas into associating communism with blackness itself. Because whenever you get in the comment section on these videos, especially over on TikTok, there's a lot of dumb motherfuckers on TikTok. And they'll talk about some type of racial grievance and some stupid motherfucker will say capitalism. Racism is not part of capitalism. It's not. And then I had to remind these dumb motherfuckers, you've never even seen capitalism. How old are you? Oh, I'm 27. Nigga, you ain't never seen capitalism. Where you seen capitalism at? Capitalism is a rumor to you, nigga. You've never seen capitalism. How you go to you haven't. Then didn't you see Obama give GM and Chrysler bailouts? Well, yeah, okay then. Where was the capitalism at? You go up in Minnesota, you go up in Iowa. A woman can go up there and talk about she homeless and they have her some place to stay before the night is over. And I ain't talking about no shelter. They instantly putting bitches up in apartments. Do that sound like capitalism to you? I'm just saying that doesn't sound like capitalism. Not to me. And that's exactly who they never go tell nobody about lying. That's one of the people they not gonna tell people about. Lion writes Fred Williams in Monroe, North Carolina was a bad motherfucker. He actually encouraged brothers to take up arms against the Klan. They not gonna talk about them. They not gonna talk about the deacons of defense. None of that shit. They barely go talk about Medgar Evers. Stephen writes, I was watching a documentary about the age discovery, and they had limited water, limited bathrooms, and how you go transport 1,000 people with those variables. You can't. You can't. And they didn't have bathrooms like you think of. They had two big ass holes at the front of the ship called the head, and you were supposed to either piss through them holes or sit down while the ship is rocking up and down and shit through them holes. So when somebody say, "Hey, I gotta go to the head," that's what they throwing back to with that nomenclature. It's two big ass holes in the front of the ship. That's not exactly a bathroom. Yep. Right about that, cheese doodle. They'll blame capitalism for anything. I saw people blame the so-called gender war on capitalism. Yep. They sure would tell you about Baynard booty cheeks rusting. They sure would tell you about that gay nigga. D Mac, thanks for the cash app. Don't let that brother be alone. All right, man. Go on and throw this up on the screen right quick so we can continue.
You always be wondering why Jasmine Crockett is Democrat, pro-Democrat, and going against everything we stand for, right? Yeah, yeah, these people, yeah, get a screenshot. Yeah, she's not for us. She's not part of our lineage. If it wasn't for the Haitian, her grandfather being over here, she wouldn't even be born. She is a descendant of Haitians, right? Yeah, and don't forget, you know they fabricate these stories for these people to be puppets, to speak for us on podiums. Alright? So her cover up game is mean. Alright? Remember that. You always be wondering why Jasmine Crockett is
I'm gonna let that hang up there for a minute until y'all wrap y'all mind around that. Never would have thought it, huh? Now do we see the fundamental flaw in the rationale of voting for somebody or patronizing somebody who quote unquote looks like me? And trust me, trust me, trust me. Please don't think that the powers that be in the demographic in the Democratic Party themselves didn't coin that term just to assist the cover of the tethers that they place in government to misrepresent us. Yeah, you're right about that, science guy. At this point, you might as well assume most of these people are tethers until knowing otherwise. Yep. What's that you say? What's that you say, KC? The fact that any Haitian would team up with white people is insane. Let me tell you something, KC. Let me tell you something, brother. You young. Let me tell you something, man. Don't ever fall for that pro blackity black game that Haitians be trying to run. Don't ever fall for that shit. Haitians always try to lay this mean ass pro black game about how they rebelled against white people. Nigga, that was 200 some years ago. And ever since then, you've been over a barrel for them, Haitian. They always quick to tell you that, to try to validate their blackness or to try to validate how real you supposed to think they are. Haitians team up with white folks every day. How many black men, when is the last time you heard a black man say, I got a Haitian girlfriend? Huh? How many of y'all ever heard a black man say that? Tell me. Niggas don't heard of black men and seen black men with all types of women. Japanese, Eskimos, Chinese, white, Indian, Mexican. When have y'all ever heard a black man say he got a Haitian girlfriend or a wife? I'll wait. When? I've never heard it. It's rare with shit. I've never ever heard that. Never, ever, 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 ever. How many times? Well, I saw one case of it. It was an American black woman, and she was married to a Haitian man, and he got deported, and she went to Haiti with him, which I was blown away by that shit. Cause I know motherfucking well that she wouldn't do that with no regular black man. I know that Distant Rose, we all know Distant Rose writes, but a very historical note, very important historical note. Distant Rose writes, Haitians only had the chance of a revolution because France was in chaos after Louis the 14th, was Louis the 16th was executed. Yep. Yep. How many black women do you know besides the one example I just provided that say I have a Haitian husband? I'll wait. Again, I'll wait. So Haitians team up with white folks every day. And when it comes to black Americans, everybody teams up with white folks against us. We are the only race on the fucking planet that every other race has a racial slur for. Y'all get that? We the only demographic on planet Earth that's like that, where it's racial slurs in like 80 different goddamn languages against us. People that don't have no contact with us, the only possible way that they will see a black person is on Sports Center. But they got a word for nigga though. So sure they team up with white folks each and every day. Now, one of the things that we have to take apart here. Oh, that okay. Oh yeah, he did say that. Mr. Z did say that. The other thing we got to take apart here, and I really do hope that some black women see the replay of this video. You black women have to stop entertaining caricatures of yourself, because that's the only reason that this bitch is popular. That's the only reason that this bitch is relevant. Because black women love to entertain caricatures of themselves. Cardi B is a caricature of a black woman. Jasmine Crockett is a caricature of a black woman. Glorilla is a caricature of a black woman. Saul writes, the whole mixed class in Hispaniola became the Dominicans, were descendants of Haitian women and French Spanish men. The only reason them mulattoes sided with the blacks was because they couldn't. Yeah. Yeah, only to turn their backs on them later. No, I'm not saying Glorilla is a tether. I don't think she a tether, but she's a caricature of a black woman. Plastic surgery, overdone makeup, masculine behavior, deep ass voice. That's a caricature of a black woman. What? Yup. Well, that's a dumb bitch you was talking to, Casey. Casey writes, good luck with that. I had one tell me that black trannies are real black women just last night, bro. Yeah, that's, you know what? Some of these hoes are so dumb that it's terrifying to contemplate the fact that they are somebody's emergency contact. Did y'all hear what I said? Some of these hoes are so dumb that it is actually terrifying when you contemplate the fact that some of them are somebody's emergency contact. That this dumb motherfucker is who they gonna call down to the hospital if you mortally wounded and deciding whether to take you off life support or not. Your very existence in the palm of a dumb motherfucker is terrifying to contemplate. This the Rose writes, black women are lost cause, let them find out the hard way. Yeah. But this this caricature does you irreparable fucking harm. This is the reason when police pull y'all over, a lot of times they'll treat y'all more harshly than a black man because of these caricatures. This is why when there's adverse weather events, storms, and all of that shit, people won't help you unless it's another black man because of those caricatures. Because they've destroyed you. They've destroyed you as a woman in the media. Stephen writes, imagine if black men voting for caricatures themselves, Uncle Ruckus, Stephen from Django, etc. Yeah. Yeah. Brother Zeke writes, yep, in Australia, they apparently refer to us as basketball Americans. Heard that on a Brad Manosphere stream a few times. You see what I mean? What is the chances, besides maybe a Navy ship docking in Australia, what are the chances that any Australian would ever know any black American man or black American person? What are the chances? And yet, there you go. There go an example. We are the only ethnic group on the planet that damn near every other ethnic group, despite having no contact with us or virtually no contact, still has a racial slur for. but I would rather be a basketball American than an outback sheep fucker any day. But this woman emphasizes this bit that she does, because you know it's a bit. Jasmine Crockett went to some of the most exclusive fucking private schools. This whole hood persona that she tries to pull off is a fucking bit. It's a bit. Everybody that looks up to her media footprint, you getting played. That ain't even nowhere remotely who that woman really is. You getting played. Right? They go and get these people. They give them the FEC paperwork to sign, and they run them, and they fund them, and they back them. See? No News Podcast writes, my roommate in Korea only knew black people from movies and television. And I've met other people like that. I met a Native American woman in college that she only saw black people, like she told me, on Sports Center. She said that's the only time that she never saw a black person in person. She never saw a black person in person before. Right? But they find these people, and understand this. Understand this. Understand this. Understand this. I want y'all to understand something. They basically install these people. If y'all understand how machine politics works in these deep blue areas, they basically install these people. Think about it. The Democratic Party is so fucking corrupt that they can identify a tether that they would like to run. They can file the paperwork for said tether. They could give the tether their financial backing. You know, do some flattering social media shit and post that up. Because in most of these deep blue areas, all you have to do is win the primary. Well, that's basically all of them, especially here in Chicago. All you have to do is win the primary, and you're going to be running unopposed. All you got to do is win the primary. The elections here are a fucking joke. They're a sick joke. Like these congressmen that you see that come from the Chicago area, the only congressman that really have to run is that dude Rajana Krishnamurti, and he from DuPage County. That's contested ground. That's the only one of the motherfuckers from the area that really have to run like that. The rest of these motherfuckers, they don't have to run. All they got to do is win the primary. And a lot of times, I hate to break it to you, they just run that. They run that other person in the primary as basically paid opposition. It's all theater. They have somebody that's like a judge in traffic court. Hey, you want to run? Yeah, fuck it, y'all run. Because that would look real weird if nobody ran against that person, but they had them on the ballot in a primary, and then in the general election, you know, it's nobody running against them either. So most of these people are not really running. They just run the primary. So watch this. They could go identify a tether that they would like to run and do all of the shit I said: financial backing, social media presence, campaign literature, have them make appearances, and then they can also run somebody against them. They'll go get a candidate that's not very likable and don't do it. They'll just get them on the ballot. They won't have no fundraisers for them or nothing. Right? And then once the general election starts, they running in, they run it unopposed. And so then once the general election starts, remember, we talking about deep blue areas. You know what they do? They tell all them people who got patronage jobs, they give them the fat finger. Vote for him or vote for her. And so since most of the other people who are voting are at work, or they too apathetic to vote, or then you might have some people that actually got took in by the tether that they running, they win elections. Back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Wash, rinse, and repeat. This is how they stay in power. This is one of the ways that they stay in power. And please don't think that in these deep blue areas where voter identification standards are really, really lax when it comes to voting, please don't think that they don't have a whole voting roll of people that's in old folks' homes and have somebody to come and vote in their place, or somebody that's locked up for years of their life and have them come vote in their place. Please don't think that they're not doing that, because they are. Oh, you still, sure. Cheese do the rights. I'm still a bit horrified by that video you did about those city jobs that black pilled the fuck out of me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Them jobs already gave out, and they had niggas lining up around the corner. Yep, they had 2,000 niggas out there for 15 job openings that they already gave out, and they had put it on. And then notice this: the news always shows up when that happens. In these deep blue areas, the news always shows up because they want to give the illusion of competition. So you just spent 3 hours of your life that you can't get back, and some ink out of a pen that you can't get back. And of course, let me tell you this too. A lot of times when they have these application fairs for these city jobs, you know what they do, right? They go and hold the event like in an auditorium. So that's just another way to get kickbacks to their cronies. Like, hey, how'd you like $1 million? You know, because you helped us in the last election. Hey, when we have the application fair for them 50 garbage man openings we got, we go hold it at your venue. That's cool. You cool with that? All right, cool. We'll let you know when, man. Yep. Just another way to get money in the hands of their cronies. Yep. And then the same place where they held their application fair, they'll turn around and that'd be the same place where the polling place is. And this is another way that they've held their power, because it's been very profitable to be a Democrat up until now. It's been enormously profitable to be a Democrat up until now. Now that the USAID money is drying up, now that all of the daycare fraud money is drying up, now that we ain't got this black bitch in DC selling the link machines and the pin numbers to them no more, the money's drying up. The money's drying up. The money's drying up. You know another reason? Ooh, y'all gonna be mad at this one. If that make you mad, cheese doodle, watch this. If that make you mad, watch this. Another reason that they televise events like that, because they know that it's gonna be a chance to see mostly black men, overwhelmingly black men, standing online looking for a job. And so that validates a couple of their narratives. And it further drives a wedge between black men and black women, because that's an opportunity for black women to say, look at them broke, dusty ass niggas standing out there begging for a job. Yep. Just another chance. And it also reinforces the narrative that, oh, these economically deprived inner cities and black men can't get ahead because of racism. No, what racism are you talking about? Because they like to tie republicanism to racism, but no Republican is in control where that event is happening. Not a single one. In most cases, you have to drive 50 miles to find your nearest Republican when you're in these deep blue areas. At best, 50 miles. What are you talking about? There's no Republicans over here. The city council is all Democrats. The mayor is a Democrat. The governor is a Democrat. All of the state representatives over here is Democrats. All of the state senators are Democrats. The U.S. senators are Democrats. The U.S. representatives are Democrats. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? But see, then they get these tellers in office. They get these tellers in office. And then you know what they do? You know what they do? They get these tellers in office. They get these tellers in office. And when they come around, they'll sit there and make all these fiery speeches and shit when something bad happened to a black person, right? They engage in all of the political theater, melodrama bullshit. They do all of that. That's lip service, right? But when you want to talk about real substantive issues, you go get a deaf ear. You want to talk about easing zoning restrictions to help black businesses, you go. They're not gonna be trying to hear that shit. Mm-mm. You want to talk about school vouchers? They're not gonna be trying to hear that shit because the teachers union donated half of their campaign money. They're not gonna be trying to hear that shit. Mm-mm. They're not gonna be trying to hear that shit. Even though they gripe about mass incarceration constantly, like it actually affects them, you start to talk about, oh, well, Why don't we have a law in this state that bans people from discriminating against fellas in hiring practices? Up, they ain't got nothing to say after that. Nothing to say. You talk to them about, man, these young guys can't hardly get no jobs because the immigrants are taking them, or these young people can't even get a fast food job because it's an adult from another country working at McDonald's. They go tell you to stop being xenophobic. Yep, right about that, Saul. Right about that, Saul. Especially liquor licenses. Especially liquor licenses. Ain't it crazy that you would hear a black person that's trying to own a club or some shit or trying to start a liquor store, and you would hear them for months or even fucking years talking about that they being evaluated for a liquor license. What? I've heard that before. I've heard that before, right? I've heard that before. I've literally heard that. I've heard guys talking about that they was under investigation and all of this shit and getting evaluated for liquor licenses for years. And I'll be like, why are they taking so long? You told me about that a few months ago. Why are they taking so long? I don't know why they taking so long. And you know what I always ask black people that tell me that? You need to call down there and ask them how in the fuck a Arab can come from another goddamn country and set up a goddamn store and get a liquor license to sell liquor in that store, but you can't. But you can't. But you've been waiting for years, or you've been waiting for months. Ask them that shit, please. I beg you, ask them that. Oh man, I never thought of it like that. How? How? How, nigga? You're from this country. They investigating you for a fucking liquor license. You think they investigated Habib? No, they just gave it to him. He applied and they gave it to him. Meanwhile, Habib is sending daily motherfucking wire transfers to fucking Hamas. Yup. Or buying sad lots on the low. It's funny how they have all these land auctions. They have all of these tax lien auctions. And you can go and see them on Zoom calls, and there's never any niggas in there. It's never any niggas in there. Nope. That's why when I be seeing all these fraudulent ass gurus talking about flipping houses, how, nigga? How? What house you flip? Where the fuck you at where you just bailed straight at that motherfucking that auction? Oh, I bought my first house for $3. You buy my course, I'll show you how. Nigga, get the fuck out of here, man.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Shit, it is treason. It is treason, Cheese Doodle. Mr. O says, I've been having this conversation for 2 decades, Tito, before I was even legal to drink alcohol. Old heads kept giving me excuses. Yeah. How? How? I've seen black men, not only in Chicago, but in other blue ran areas, actually buy a fucking retail space to start a club in there. I've seen it to where they will get it totally renovated, make the inside beautiful, gorgeous decorations. They have all their staff hired down, right down to the security, and it still be waiting for got the business license, but it still be sitting there waiting for a liquor license. And I'll be like, how? The black man that told me about that, like, man, this shit pissing me off, man. I'm waiting for this liquor license. You waiting for what? I'm waiting for this liquor license. Man, why are you waiting? Man, they keep giving me the runaround. Meanwhile, not even a block away from the club that he tried to get set up is a Arab store that just opened and they selling beer in there. The store just opened. But you want to talk to one of these tellers about that, they gonna turn a deaf ear to you. They gonna tell you stop being xenophobic. They gonna tell you how fair the application process is. That's what they gonna tell you. That's what they gonna tell you. They place these people in government to dilute our political power. Surely we got to be the only demographic in America that this is happening to, where we've basically delegated all of our political power to people who have none of our best interests at heart. And not just the tellers, but also the boule niggas. Oh yeah, that's the delays from delays on the fire marshal inspections. Yep. Delays on that shit too. Yep. You know, the occupancy permits. Yep. Delays on that shit too. Meanwhile, an Arab down the street got a business license in one day, and now he got 15 cars parked out there. He ain't even got a fucking standing structure yet to act as the office for the motherfucking the car lot. Yep, right about that. Arab stores will be raggedy as fuck, old beer, alcohol, and wine, and be overcharged. Yeah. No, that ain't what the case is, Casey. Casey writes, whoever pulling the strings trying to get black men to react so they can have reason to war with us publicly. No, they not. No, they not. They not trying to get they not trying to have a violent showdown. They're not trying to do that. They just trying to continue stealing and freezing you out of opportunity. That's all. And they don't premeditate a violent showdown with you because it's been so long since they had one. Yep. 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 Right about that. It's an extortion racket. Saul writes, if you black, you got to have the burden of donating to somebody's campaign or having connections. Yeah, it's an extortion racket. And it's also an opportunity. The other reason to do this as well is to be able to get money up out of you. Because trust me, these black people that want us that's got money to start business, big like clubs and fucking shoe stores and shit like that, you gonna have to grease some palms. definitely gonna have to grease some palms to get where you're trying to get the results that you're looking for. It is what it is. Yup. But just so y'all know now, Jasmine Crockett has been outed as a fucking tether. My only question is, how much worse is this gonna get? How many more people on the current Democratic star politicians, black star politicians, are gonna be outed as tethers? How many people have to be outed as tethers for you niggas to finally wake up? How many? How many does it take? And at what point do we begin to recognize as a collective that these people do not have our best interests at heart? When are we going to wake up? When are we going to wake up and realize that Pan Africanism was always a lie? It was always a scam. It was always a hustle. It was always a delusional way of thinking. It always was. All right, man. I'm about to get up out of here. It's been a Black Pill PSA. Peace.